chosen ones. Everyone else who went through what you survived is currently in a psychiatric ward, medicated beyond recognition, or 6 feet under. But here you are, scrolling through your phone with steady hands, drinking your coffee like you didn't just survive psychological Hiroshima. The therapist treating the others can't explain your case file. The psychiatrists studying similar trauma victims have no diagnosis for what you've become. You tanked warfare that was specifically designed to shatter human consciousness, and you're still standing here like it was just another Tuesday. The attacks you survived weren't random bad luck or difficult circumstances. Someone or something orchestrated a systematic demolition of your psyche, using weapons that aren't supposed to exist. They deployed psychological operations that military interrogators would consider war crimes. They subjected you to mental torture that makes MKUltra look like a meditation retreat. And the most disturbing part, you metabolized it all like breakfast cereal while others are still vomiting from the first bite. Right now there are support groups filled with people who experienced 1/10 of what you went through. They meet every week, crying about betrayals you've already forgotten, processing traumas you've already composted into wisdom, taking medications for conditions you've already evolved beyond. They're in there with their worksheets and their coping mechanisms, their breathing exercises and their emotional support animals, trying to make sense of experiences that broke them permanently. Meanwhile, you're out here functioning at levels that shouldn't be possible, operating with clarity that defies every model of trauma response, building realities from the ashes of what should have been your complete destruction. What I'm about to reveal will finally explain why you're different from every other survivor, why their weapons didn't work on you the way they were supposed to, why you're reading this with clear eyes while others with similar experiences are begging voices in their head to stop. There's something about your construction, something about your wiring, something about what raised you that made you incompatible with standard destruction protocols. You see, psychological warfare follows predictable patterns. It has reliable pressure points, proven methods, time-tested techniques that work on 99% of human consciousness. The beings who designed these attacks, whether human or otherwise, have been perfecting their craft for centuries. They know exactly which buttons to push, which wounds to target, which fears to exploit. They have formulas for breaking people, algorithms for destroying sanity, recipes for manufacturing madness. But when they tried these techniques on you, something unprecedented happened. The formulas didn't compute, the algorithms crashed. The recipes produced something entirely different than intended. Let me paint you a picture of what should have happened to you. First, the gaslighting should have made you question your own memories until you couldn't distinguish between what actually happened and what they told you happened. You should be keeping detailed journals right now, recording every conversation, saving every receipt, desperately trying to prove to yourself that your experiences were real. You should have developed an obsessive need for external validation, constantly asking others to confirm your reality, verify your perceptions, validate your memories. But instead, something else occurred. When they started editing your reality in real time, when they began revising history while you were still living it, when they told you things that happened didn't happen, and things that didn't happen did, your mind didn't fracture along the expected fault lines. Instead of desperately clinging to one version of reality, you developed the ability to hold multiple realities simultaneously. You became quantum while they were still thinking in binary. You learned to surf between timelines while they were trying to trap you in false ones. This ability shouldn't exist in human consciousness. The human mind is designed to need coherent narratives, linear timelines, and consistent realities. When these are disrupted, the mind typically either breaks completely or exhausts itself trying to restore order. But you did neither. You released your attachment to linear reality altogether. You stopped needing your life to make sense in conventional terms. You became comfortable with paradox, fluent in contradiction, native to impossibility. Then came the isolation tactics. They systematically removed everyone who might validate your experience. They turned your support system against you with surgical precision, planting seeds of doubt that grew into forests of disbelief. They made sure that when you finally tried to explain what was happening, you'd sound crazy. They preemptively discredited you, pre-positioned witnesses against you, pre-programmed responses that would invalidate your truth. This is where most people crumble. Humans are social creatures who need connection to maintain sanity. When isolated from validation, when cut off from understanding, when exiled from empathy, the human psyche typically develops severe attachment disorders, depression, anxiety, complex PTSD, dissociative disorders. These are the normal responses to prolonged isolation and invalidation. The others experiencing this are in therapy right now, learning acronyms